Hello and welcome. Every single second of every day, your body is pulling off this invisible miracle just to keep you alive. It's this relentless, high-stakes balancing act that happens totally automatically. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and reveal the secret strategy your body uses to win this fight for survival, moment by moment.
So what is the fundamental secret to staying alive? It goes way deeper than just your heart beating or your lungs breathing. Those are just the results, right? The real secret, the core strategy, is all about maintaining a perfect internal balance in a world that is constantly changing. And that strategy, well, it has a name. Homeostasis. It literally means maintaining nearly constant conditions inside your body, no matter what's going on outside. This is your body's #1 job. It's the ultimate mission. Pretty much every other process is designed to serve this one goal. But don't think of this as some kind of perfect stillness. No way. It's the exact opposite. Homeostasis is a dynamic, nonstop balancing act. Picture a tightrope walker constantly making these tiny little adjustments just to stay centered. Well, that's your body every single moment. So let's look at a few of these incredible balancing acts right now. Okay, first up, the acid-base challenge. Your body is basically this finely tuned chemical soup, and the acidity of that soup, its pH, it has to be perfect. And when I say perfect, I really, really mean it. The magic number for your arterial blood is 7.4. Yep, that's it. Not 7, not 8. We're talking about a razor-thin window, right around 7.4. Every single chemical reaction that keeps you alive, from making energy to sending nerve signals, is optimized for this exact pH. So what happens if we stray from that number? Well, if your pH drops even a tiny bit, you go into a state called acidosis, where your systems get dangerously sluggish. If it goes too high, that's alkalosis, and your nervous system can get so overexcited it could lead to a seizure. Both are serious medical emergencies. Which, raises the big question. With everything from the food you eat to the exercise you do, constantly trying to nudge your pH around, how on earth does your body stay locked into that perfect zone? Well, the answer is a brilliant multi-layered defense system. And this is just a fantastic illustration of the strategy. First, you've got chemical buffers in your blood that act instantly, just soaking up any extra acid or base. Then, within minutes, your respiratory system jumps in. Feeling a bit acidic? You'll start breathing faster to blow off more CO2, which is a source of acid. And finally, you've got the long-term heavy hitters, your kidneys. They're slower for sure, but they are incredibly powerful at precisely removing acid or base to pull everything right back to 7.4. Okay, let's look at another example of this balancing act. Blood pressure. Here, your body isn't just fighting a chemical war. It's in a constant battle with a force we all know very, very well, gravity. Have you ever really stopped to think about it? You jump up from the couch and, well, nothing happens. You don't get dizzy, you don't pass out. Why is that? It's because a homeostatic reflex just saved you from collapsing onto the floor. The problem itself is pretty simple. The moment you stand up, gravity yanks blood down into your legs and your feet. This causes a sudden drop in blood pressure in the top half of your body, and that includes the crucial blood flow going to your brain. Without an instant correction, you'd faint. Simple as that. And the solution is just breathtakingly fast. It's called the baroreceptor reflex. You've got these little pressure sensors in your arteries that detect the drop, and they fire off a signal to your brainstem. Your brain immediately kicks on the sympathetic nervous system, your fight-or-flight response. Your heart starts beating faster, and your blood vessels tighten up. And here's the key takeaway. All this happens in less than a heartbeat, pushing your blood pressure right back to normal. It's an absolutely incredible, life-saving reflex. Okay, finally, let's look at one we're all familiar with, body temperature. It doesn't matter if you're in a blizzard or a heat wave, your internal core temperature needs to stay pegged right around 37 degrees Celsius. That's about 98.6 Fahrenheit. And the control center for this entire operation is a tiny little region in your brain called the hypothalamus. You can think of it as the body's master thermostat. It's got a set point, 37 degrees Celsius, and it will do whatever it takes to keep you there. So if your temperature drops, the hypothalamus triggers heat gain. You start to shiver. That's just your muscles contracting really fast to generate warmth. At the same time, it causes vasoconstriction, which narrows the blood vessels in your skin to trap heat deep inside your core. And if you get too hot, it does the exact opposite.
You start to sweat, which cools you down as it evaporates, and it triggers vasodilation, widening those same blood vessels to release heat out into the environment. It's a perfect automatic climate control system.
So we've seen these incredible systems for pH, for pressure, and for temperature. But what happens when they fail? This is where the whole idea of homeostasis becomes so critical to how we think about our own well-being.
And this brings us to the most important takeaway of all. Health is homeostasis. It's really that simple. It's the successful maintenance of this incredible dynamic equilibrium. When your systems are working together in harmony to maintain balance, you are healthy.
And, well, logically, that means disease is imbalance. Disease is a disruption of homeostasis. It's what happens when one of these absolutely critical balancing acts starts to fail. Now, this isn't just a nice theory, it's a fundamental principle of medicine. As this quote says, in most diseases, homeostatic mechanisms are no longer operating normally. Think about it. Diabetes is a failure to balance blood sugar. High blood pressure is a failure to regulate the cardiovascular system. Even a fever is just a temporary, deliberate resetting of your temperature set point to help fight an infection. It always comes back to balance. And that leaves us with one final, pretty personal question. Thinking about your own life, your diet, your stress levels, your sleep, what choices are you making that support your body's incredible balancing act? And which ones might be throwing it off? Because understanding homeostasis is really the first step to helping your body do what it does best, keeping you alive and well. Thanks for tuning in.